Hello there. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I just wanted to give you guys an update in regards to what we're doing in the course. I'm actually almost about to finish. I know I haven't updated you guys in a long time, but I wanted to just give you guys a general overview of what tags we've discussed, how to implement them, and so forth. So this is another website that you get to work on. It's called a recipes website. You can basically do it however you want, with whichever recipe you're interested in. And obviously, I shows how to sous vide your steak. It's actually a pretty good method of making um, steaks, to be honest. But yeah, here we've we've actually structured the website in a way where it's a little bit responsive. So let's go ahead and do this. If you know, once I there's those two listed and unlisted elements, they they get restructured, right? So what's going on there is that I applied a little bit of responsiveness to the website. That's what they call it, responsiveness. Again, I'm a beginner. I don't know much about what I'm doing at this point. I'm just following the course and doing everything that we can for now. So they teach you how to add those elements. How to add those mobile response elements. So if you want to know how I did it, I'm gonna go ahead and show you the code. For the most part, it's things that I've learned by googling it, either using w3schools.com or just playing around with different settings that you can put for your CSS code. So, for instance, in order to get these three elements, this three elements, I had to modify it, and I had to do a div tag around them. So let me show it here. So you see here that this is. Let me just go ahead and close it out. This tag contains, as you guys can see there, it contains three sections, which is the paragraph section here, the ingredients, and the prep section. So I ended up including all those three elements into the div tag, so I can go ahead and apply the responsive element, which is something that's called display flex, which is apparently, according to the course instructor, it's very important for you to have that property. It helps you. It actually is. It helps you stylize and make the. Since we're in a modern world, it makes you helps you make your website more mobile friendly and a little bit more structured, right? So, for instance, if you want to resize your browser, you want to make sure that you see the elements corresponding to them. So yeah, that's something that we worked on. We also worked on the differences between a class and an ID tags and the parent-child relationship. How basically one supersedes another. For instance, if we have a property that has three elements, right? So let's go ahead and take this background color. Let's add three elements to the body here, just so you guys can see that reaction. That. So let me go ahead and look for body. So body right now doesn't have any elements. I'm just going to put here ID equals body. Whatever. And let's also add a class. Class here equals body class. Let's change this. Let's put just to make it a little bit simple. Body ID and body class. Now let's go to the CSS code and let's add those. So in order to add a ID, you just put hashtag, and it's gonna give you the response in this program, but you just put your ID. So here, let's put background. Actually, let's not do that first. Let's also work on the class before we do that, so we can show you the hierarchy that's innately integrated into CSS. By innately integrated, I actually mean that was programmed by the people who created the language and so forth. Anyhow, let's do class, body class. let's open and close here. So if you notice, we have three modifiers here, right? So this one is an ID, this one is the class, and this one is just a normal tag. So if we put, for instance, here, let's put background color equals, I don't know, aqua, whatever, aqua. So it changes, right? But initially it was set by this tag, by just the body tag, but I changed the value of background color in body class, and it changes the value of the body, of course, if you can see up here. Now if we go ahead and implement here background color as well, background color equals I don't know, what color do you guys like? Let's put it, I don't know, deep pink, just for the sake of it. It changes again, right? Here you can say, hey, how can you actually have three tags to modify the same thing? You actually can. I'm pretty sure there are uses for that. I haven't come up with one at this time, but what it does is that this class, the class tag supersedes the normal tag, right? And the body tag supersedes the class tag. So this one is on top of a hierarchy on specificity. That's what it's called. CSS specificity. Keep in mind, I speak two languages, English and Spanish, and so sometimes you might hear me stumble, but yeah. Anyways, that's one of the things that we discuss in the videos on specificity and how it relates to CSS and HTML5. So you notice here that how it works, how it's described is that for an ID tag is above a class tag because this one is more specific and it should be only attached to one element. That's the rule. Well, I'm pretty sure you can do it any other ways, but that's how they wanted to. I'm pretty sure they just want to make it as uniformly as possible. So that's just a rule. So class you can add two different elements, elements in order to style them and so forth, right? So this one is right under the ID tag because the specificity, it's not that specific, right? Because you can use it on different elements. And there's just a normal tag. Ideally, I don't think you're going to have more than one body tag, but you can definitely have a lot more than one body tag if you're that kind of person that wants you to do it, right? But yeah, this one modifies all the body tags that are within the website. This one modifies the tags that have the class. Like you guys saw me creating that class, right? So this one modifies the class, and this one is gonna modify the only element that's gonna need to have that ID. Okay. Again, I think you can implement different IDs to different elements, but that's the reason why you will use a class and not an ID tag, right? But yeah, this was something that we discussed. Let me go ahead and delete this because I haven't finished my last assignment for. I think this is the advanced CSS assignment. Actually, it's called CSS responsiveness, which is the last subject. But yeah, what else I wanted to discuss? Let's see here. Okay, here. You see this element? It says item selection, item section. So I'm choosing a class there. So let's go ahead and look at that item section li. So let's look for that class on my code. I actually forgot where I put it. Here we go. Item section. So what this is saying is let's go ahead and choose any descendants that are li from the class item section. So he goes into details on how you can use different ways in order to call an action per se. Okay, why are you here? Where are you from? Go ahead and delete this. All right, there we go. Anyways, I'm sorry for that. So yeah, this you can add two different roles, not the rules, different ways in order to calls for elements that are within your code, and modify them. So this is just a simple manner of just modifying in a simple way elements that you want them to. For instance, if you were to add another li here, right? So here we notice that there are multiple li's and we needed to style them. So in order to just put either a class or an ID tag for each and every one of them, we can just use the rule of item section, which is going to choose the class that's above this one, and it's going to find. We're saying, okay, from the item that has class item section, right? What we're going to do is we're going to modify each and every li element that's within that class element. And that was another rule that we discussed. Let's see what else I can show you that I've done until the moment. Here we're using the same thing that we were using above, but in this case we're just using two tags and no classes or anything like that. And yeah, we have discussed quite a few things. Again, my purpose is not to teach you. I'm sorry. I wish I could be at that level right now, but I'm not in the level where I can teach you. It's just to show you how I've progressed using the course. Right now, we are actually. So now that I see this meta tag, I'm gonna do another video later on once I finish this, and it's in order to show you guys what I've learned with the mobile. How to make sure that certain things appear if you're on a mobile device. Let's go ahead and say that we're on a stream that's 600 by 437, like you saw there, and you want certain things to appear on the website. So there is a way where you can apply. It's called CSS media rule, where you can apply different elements, actually different stylings to elements that only show, for instance, when the screen size is 600 by 437, or a screen size is 954 by 437, and so forth. So those are things that you can actually use, which is actually quite amazing that they're able to teach you that, because in the modern world that we are, it's very important that you know how to modify and make sure that your website responds to different devices, like an iPad, like an iPhone, Android, Pixel, whichever other device that you have your preference. So you really want to make sure that the content is uniformly applied on each and every screen, that they all have their unique properties. For instance, like it's shown here, you know that if you're on a small screen, you're going to start with a paragraph, and then you're going to see the other two elements, and so forth, right? So that those are things that you really want to make sure to do, and they teach you that they cover it in an interesting manner, actually, because the way that they teach is they give you I think it's similar to what universities do, where they just give you an introduction of the topic, and they tell you, hell yeah, this is how it can work, and you can do. And this is going to be your homework. Your homework is going to be to research this topic, right, and try to apply it to your website. So I think that's actually a valuable tool, because after you finish this course, you need to understand or take into consideration what's going to happen with your skills. What are you going to do post-course? I mean, of course, you can just get another course and start seeing, get other resources, possibly get a book and so forth. But it shows you that you need to also look up things on yourself and learn how to interpret them by yourself using whatever source that you have. And me working in the industry, I'm not working as a programmer, by the way, but I'm actually working in the healthcare industry. That's basically how everything works there, is that they teach you something and then they expect you to learn everything else by yourself. And this is actually a very good tool. It's underappreciated. I don't think a lot of people do it that way, because if you give the person everything in a silver platter, what's going to happen is that they're just going to keep expecting the same thing over and over again, right? You're not actually teaching them much What you're teaching them is, hey, listen to me. And what I actually appreciate about Pirple.com is that they teach you how to look for your stuff, how to make your own research, and motivate you in order to actually make your own research and um, find out things on yourself, and not just get the instructor to give you everything in the blueprint. Because if you think about it, that's how everything works nowadays. Like my science, I have a science background in biotechnology. So let's go ahead and say that I had a research problem. I needed to research something. And in order to research it, I went to my professor, or I went to the head lab person, and let them know, hey, how does this work in science? You're going to ask that in science, of course, especially working with DNAs and genetics and so forth, which is what I used to work in. You ask him, hey, how does this gene work? She's going to say, oh, you're going to need to research that because we don't have that information. It doesn't exist. It's not going to exist anywhere. I mean, you can find similar genes, but it's not going to exist anywhere. So you're going to need to study that gene and see how it works. No one on the top tier of your academics or your staff is going to tell you, yeah, you need to do this and this and that all the time. You actually need to start developing skills in order to for researching and finding things and how to apply it to whatever thing you're doing. Again, that's something that they use. That's one of the teaching methods that they use in Pirple.com, and I do appreciate that. This is actually one of the reasons why I'm doing this video, and show you guys how I've been doing with this course, right? Because it's insanely interesting. It's helping you understand, and it's helping your research. It's giving you a bunch of tools that you wouldn't expect from a course that's $5 initially. I think that was a little bit more, but there was a special offer back on November where it was used to be I think it was October, where you pay just $5 for courses, and now it's gone up to $20 per courses. But still, it's providing you a lot of value for whatever you're spending on that course. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that they're trying to maintain it as low cost as possible, and they're teaching you valuable skill sets, as well as teaching you the topic that they're trying to teach you. But yeah, guys, that's basically a general overview of what I've learned and what I have been able to do until the moment in Pirple, using the course of Frontend Fundamentals in Pirple.com. I hope this provides a valuable insight if you are I don't know, determining in order to actually purchase a course or not. I know I was in that position. I was looking at YouTube videos, I was trying to look for someone out there that was actually doing the course, and get their perspective on it. And there's actually not many people who are taking this class at this point. And not many videos out there explaining their experience using Pirple.com, but this is my experience. I'm not sponsored by them by any way, means or shape. I pay for my courses, but yeah, I just wanted to. I find that YouTube videos and other people's feedback are important for my purchasing decisions, right? So I'm thinking that some person that was like me, that was looking for this and looking for an opinion about this website, I'm hoping that you are able to see this. And yeah, it is worthwhile because it's not expensive, and it's teaching you a bunch of different skill sets that does actually help you in quote unquote the real world. But anyhow, this is where I'm gonna go ahead and end the video. I hope you guys have a great evening, and thank you for your time. By the way, if this was helpful in any way, let's give it a thumbs up or thumbs down, whatever. Any response. Have a great day.